This episode was very, very emotional. Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 6, Qui or Quai. Hell, I don't know. Tomato, tomato. I'ma say Qui. All right, you guys, it's early in the morning. I have my coffee, so let's get into it. And I will be drinking my coffee while I'm doing this review. So we start off the episode with the flashback before the crash when the girls were watching a video on childbirth. Coach is the teacher in the class, and while everyone is not paying attention and being normal, typical teenagers, and Shady Jeff is passing notes to Shauna, Misty is the only one who is into the video, which pretty much foreshadows exactly what we see later on with Misty kind of being the doctor slash nurse to help Shauna. So after we see that scene, next we see Shauna in labor in the cabin. So we see adult Misty getting a tour of the cult facility, and Lottie and Misty see each other for the first time in, I'm assuming, years. Lottie looks at Misty as if she's about to bite her ear off. But Lottie says, Misty, why don't you stay for a while to help Natalie? She's claiming this to help Natalie, but she's trying to get Misty under her spell as well, okay? So next, Psycho Shauna gets a call from the detective saying they want Shauna and Callie to come down to the police station. And Shady Jeff flips out saying this is exactly why he didn't want Callie involved. Then Shauna's crazy ass says it would have been better if her underage daughter would have just slept with the cop. She pretty much says you should have just had freaky tales with the cop because at least none of the stuff that Callie told him would be used against Shauna. Let me ask y'all this. Who actually likes Shauna as a character? Like, seriously, please put it in the comments below. I don't like this woman. I mean, at first, her crazy was intriguing. I knew she was off from the first freaking episode when she was doing her like housewife chores, but then decided to give her a helping hand on her daughter's bed. So I knew something was wrong with her. But at this point, every episode, I'm just like, I don't like this heifer. But again, she may be a favorite character of yours and explain why in the comments. I'm over Shauna. Shauna, she may have a normal outside appearance, but she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Something is just, I can't believe she said that. But anywho, so next we see teen Shauna in labor. And of course, Misty is playing doctor, but she's out of it because she's still thinking about Crystal and how she pretty much offed her best friend. So next we see Natalie and her cult friend, and I need to find out what her name is because I keep calling her cult friend, which I feel like this relationship is either going to harm that cult friend or help that cult friend, but we shall see. So Natalie is feeding into Lottie's BS about how it's her fault that Travis is dead. And her cult friend says, look, it's not your fault. Whatever was going on with him was inside of him. And Natalie is like, well, it's inside of me too. And she confesses and pretty much says, we did some messed up stuff out there to survive. At least that's what we told ourselves it was to survive. She was like, but I don't think we really deserve to survive. And that brings me back to one of my subscribers, and shout out to that person. I'm sorry I did not remember your name, but you mentioned that You think they all died in the plane crash, but something brought those particular girls and the coach and Travis and Javi back to life. That spirit brought them back to life, which is a very interesting theory. So shout out to him or her for that, because they may be on to something in regards to that. Because when you really think about it, why did they survive? Why them? So we see adult Van putting away her videos, and Ty comes in wondering why Van didn't, wake her. Like, she's like, why you let me sleep? Like, what's going on? And so Van tells her that that spirit came back and told Van, this isn't where we're supposed to be. And so Ty's like, oh my gosh, she came and that's what she said. What does she mean by we? And Van at this point is like, look, bitch, I can't help you anymore. Get out of my life. You're crazy. But then at the same time, Van tells Ty that she can help with the videotapes because Van is about to open the store. And in the process, Ty notices the past due bills in the trash can. So next we're back in the wilderness, and Missy is seeing the blood on her hands from Shauna being in labor. And at that moment, she thinks about Crystal and how Crystal's blood is on her hands. Missy freaks out, says she can't do this, and runs away. Then one of the other girls, she steps in, and then Travis randomly takes the animal skull and starts a sacrifice ceremony, and I still don't get why they are randomly doing this and how they know how to do this. We've never seen Travis pick up a skull, cut his hand, and do all of that stuff. At this point, I'm thinking Lottie is controlling their internal movements, thoughts. When she gets into that mode, the people that she has control over, they get into that mode. Whatever she's thinking, they do. There's something about the control. Whatever Lottie does, they just automatically know how to just kind of like get into it. There's something there. It's a mind control situation. I'm going to figure it out though, damn it. Or they going to tell us, but I'm going to figure it out. So then adult Lottie is back at the psychiatrist, and she pretty much repeats what Natalie said about the dark spirit being inside of her and that they brought it back with them, which is fine. I'm getting a little impatient. And again, maybe that is my Libra sun, Leo rising, and Aries moon in me. I can tend to be a little impatient, but again, yes, you brought it back, but why in the hell is it coming out now 20 plus years later? No one saw signs of the sleepwalking for 20 plus years. No one saw signs of Shauna being a freaking psychopath. We all know Misty was a psychopath, but even still, why has it been 20 plus years that now all of a sudden what they brought back is resurfacing? Like, I need to know these things, damn it. And I just want to know ASAP. And we probably won't know until season 3, 4, 5, or 6, but I want to know. If you have any theories, by all means, please drop your comments below. So next we see Missy at the cult going through some type of therapy session, I suppose. And let me tell you this, you know these purple people eaters are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when they make Misty look normal, okay? Misty was actually looking very normal in that scene. So that's when I knew, I said, honey, these people are far gone, okay? Far, far gone. So Teen Shauna is still pushing, and then the placenta is coming out before the baby. And when we see the placenta come out, it appears to be some type of arm or, leg in the placenta. So at that point, I was like, oh gosh, this is definitely not good. So then Lottie goes to see Misty, or to get Misty to give her a prep talk. And this is, of course, in the cabin, the teen Lottie and Misty, to give her a prep talk about helping Shauna deliver this baby. But then this crazy heifer says, you can still save our baby. Child, like, Lottie gives me the creeps. She gives me like every freaking like female villain in a horror movie or thriller. She gives me Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She gives me Carrie. She is just, oh my gosh, she just gives me the creeps. Like, it's just like, what is wrong with you? But the crazy thing is, when she says that, it's almost like she put Misty in a trance and like Misty walked away like she was back in focus because Lottie made her get back in focus. It's like if Lottie touches you, if Lottie looks into your eyes, if Lottie does something with you, it's almost like you are now in her control. Weird shit, weird shit. But if you look at that scene again, it almost looks like she's like, okay, master, and like literally walks away. So next, Psycho, Shauna, and Callie are at the police station, and for some reason, TV shows love to have their characters talk about inappropriate shit in the police station. Like, I would never talk crazy shit in a police station. You don't know who's around. You don't know what kind of recording devices are around you. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? So pretty much Shauna says to the police, they better not interview her daughter alone. However, they do just that. They separate them and question them alone. Isn't Callie a minor? She's supposed to have an adult present, at least an attorney, but damn sure an adult present. Like, okay. But next, Ty is talking to Van about her bills and her debt, and then she gets a call from Misty about how Lottie has a cult and she is there with Natalie. So at that point, Ty wants to go there. And this is clearly what the spirit meant when the spirit was talking to Van, saying that this isn't where they are supposed to be. Which again makes me think that spirit is Lottie going through Ty. I don't know, but pretty much they're on their way upstate New York. Back in the cabin, Shauna is still in labor and she looks so pale. Like she looks like she is on the verge of death. And while Lottie Crew starts these chanting ceremonies or whatever the case may be, next thing you know, the baby comes out and the baby looks very healthy and everyone is happy. And my first reaction, being the anal person I am, I'm like, that baby looks very healthy and fat for a mother who has not had any proper prenatal care and was barely eating. Like for months at times, they were starving. So I was just like, okay, this is interesting. And I'm thinking at first, I'm like, oh, Lottie done put some type of heebie-jeebie stuff on her to make sure that baby was healthy. But I'm a sucker for babies, so I went with it. And immediately I was doing the same thing. I was like, oh, look at the baby. So anywho, next we see Ty and Van on their way to the cult camp. And pretty much they just have a discussion about, life. And if, Van has pretty much kind of isolated her life and doesn't want to try love again and all this good stuff. And, something tells me they may get back together. I don't know, but something is giving me the vibes that they may get back together based on that conversation in the van. So then we see Natalie cult friend bring her the fish that she stole from her mother's house, saying that she needs to take care of someone but herself. Then we see Shauna with the crying baby trying to feed him because he's not latching on and she's getting frustrated. And I think the reason why I said this whole episode was emotional, but especially Shauna trying to connect with her child, because you hear those stories all the time. Like everyone assumes that, when a mother has her baby, like it's just instant connection and they're latching on and all of that stuff. And that's not the case. And I will say that Teen Shauna acted her ass off this episode. She had me. I'm like, she needs to get nominated or something because she did a wonderful job going up and down with her emotions. So then we see Shady Jeff out in the car listening to NWA F the Police. And I'm like, really, Jeff? Like, would you really listen to that song if it wasn't for the circumstances that were going on right now? And then you actually like are listening to it in front of the police station. Like, I don't know. I don't know how believable that was. Hell, he could barely like bounce to the beat correctly. I was just like, what the hell? So Ty calls Shauna but gets Jeff instead, and she tells Jeff to tell Shauna Lottie has a cold and they are on their way up there. Or, well, I don't think she said cold, I think she said wellness center. But all of them are on their way up there. So Natalie sees that Misty is at the cult and is talking to the people purple eaters. And it sounds like she's talking about Natalie, actually. And then we realize at that point, Natalie is out of it. Like, she's zoned out. Like, Lottie has pretty much gotten into Natalie. So then we see Callie and Shauna being integrated, excuse me. And we see that Callie is just like her mother, crazy as hell, okay? Oh my gosh, she literally puts on a brilliant performance in that room and pretty much says, the police officer manipulated her, they have freaky tales, all of that stuff. So, however, in Shauna's room, I believe she was telling the truth, okay? She pretty much talks about how she got into that marriage because of guilt and shame, which I agree with that. And she can't really love either of them because of all the guilt and shame and all of the issues she has, which I agree with that. Then she mentions the affair, but the detective calls her bluff and doesn't believe her story. Like, he's like, let's get to the point. I know you killed them, heifer. Like, let's get to it. So then we get a hands that rocks the cradle moment, like I said earlier, from Lottie. Shauna is asleep and wakes up to see that Lottie is holding her baby. And this time the baby is actually very quiet and sleeping. Meanwhile, of course, when he was with Shauna, he was crying like crazy. And at first I thought she was breastfeeding him, which was really gonna freak me out, but she wasn't. But I was just like, oh my gosh, even still, don't touch her baby. Like, this is like a hand that rocks the cradle moment, like, seriously. And if you haven't seen that movie, I definitely encourage you to watch it. Coffee is good. So, excuse me. Next, Psycho Shauna comes back to the car and tells Jeff she told them about Adam, the affair. Then she opens the glove compartment and Jeff sees that she has a gun in the glove compartment. And Jeff is like, you are out of control, Shauna. And she's like, yeah, you think? You think I'm out of control? And I'm just like, I still don't feel sorry for you because there is really like, and Jeff, how did you not notice these psycho ways about her for 20 plus years? Sorry, more coffee. So with that, Jeff tells Shauna that she got a call from Ty and that she needs to take her crazy ass to go meet them because maybe that will possibly help her. And at first I said, how in the hell does he think that will help her? But I keep forgetting he doesn't really know what happened in the woods, in the wilderness. He doesn't know. So maybe he's thinking, look, take a break, go see your high school friends, and maybe this will help you, not knowing this may actually make her worse. So yeah, but at the same time, I think he needs a break too, because he's like, look, bitch, get your crazy ass away from me for a couple of days or whatever, because I need a break from you because I don't know who you are and what's going on with you. So teenage Shauna has a beautiful heart to heart with the baby, her baby. And then finally, the baby latches on. And, again, I just think it's beautiful because I'm not a mother yet, but I do know that, family members, friends who have had that experience, it's something very special and even maybe even spiritual for them when their baby latches on. It's like a really strong bond, a really strong connection. So that moment and the acting was like amazing. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment. So next we see Ty and Van making a decision on if they are going to go into the cult. But then they see Shauna go in. So because she went in, they follow her. And I'm trying to figure out how Shauna got there pretty damn fast. Okay, like, I mean, I know she lives in Jersey, but Jersey, upstate New York, like, I don't know. So with that, all of the girls are back together, and Van instantly goes into a trance when she sees Lottie. Like, it's almost like she, oh my gosh, it was like the freakiest stuff. Like, she sees Lottie. Lottie's not even looking at her yet, but the fact that she sees her from a distance, she just like turns into like a trance. Like, her whole mind just like flips out over Lottie. So that tells me also, the moment Lottie gets a hold of you in that way, you can't stop it, because Van hasn't seen that girl in years, and as soon as she saw her, it was like back in the wilderness all over again. So Lottie sees all of them and walks towards them. And then next we see teen Shauna get up from bed, and her baby is missing, and she hears humming and goes out to see what appears to be the girls and the coach and everyone else eating her baby. Okay. And remember, I think I had mentioned this. I was like, I hope they don't do anything to that baby. And you see that. And at first, it looked like some real shit, but I was just like, something about this just doesn't ring true. But all of a sudden, Shauna wakes up from her nightmare, and we find out that she was unconscious, and they thought, like, they lost her, like she had passed. And at that moment, they tell her the baby didn't make it. And Shauna freaks out and even keeps saying that she hears the baby crying, and can't you hear the baby crying? It was a very emotional scene, and it explains why, again, Shauna, I think purposely, when they were rescued, she wanted to get back with Jeff, and she wanted to make things right for everything that she lost from the baby. And even in a weird way, I think staying with Jeff connected her with Jackie. But does she really love him for the right reasons? Hell no. Absolutely not. Um, I will say this was a great episode, an emotional episode. We really didn't learn anything new besides what happened to the baby. Um, I just still want to know why all of this is resurfacing now. Um, I could see if Lottie had just started the cult, and because she just came back into that area and started the cult, all of a sudden these things started happening. But the way that cult is set up, she's been there for years. So I just want to know, why is it happening now? What has caused all of this to come back now 20 plus years later? So with that being said, what do you think about this episode? I'm so glad Yellowjackets is back. I have some amazing subscribers who really put their theories down below. I really love and appreciate you guys, because I love to talk about this shit. Like, this is amazing to me. So like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Peace.